Boom. Hello, everybody. What's going on? Don here on this Saturday. Let's get a quick audio check, and then we should be ready to go for a casual Sunday chat. We already got Mr. William, the Brando Brandis here, and Pat Marino. I think he's firmly in the JJP camp at this point, from what I've been casually observing. Hi, everybody. Let's get some chat checks. We'll let some people wander on in. We're a couple of minutes early. I said 10:20. We can do 10:15. Brother, the blue people, man, stole my heart. Damn you, Jersey Jack, right? We went through this with Elton John. Remember when everybody was like, Elton John is just a code name for Harry Potter. Godfather is just a code name for Harry Potter. Avatar. Anyway, we heard the release. It was going to be Elton John, right? And then it was like, oh, good. Money is safe. I don't have to worry about it. And then, damn it, they made me want an Elton John machine. And then Avatar, right? It was like, okay, I guess it is Avatar. Money's safe, blue people, not the theme everybody wants. And then, damn it, hell of a game. I had about 15 games on it, on both in the CE cabinet and the LE cabinet. And these aren't 90-second games. It was a pretty long playing adventure game, which, I mean, that's perfect. You don't want a theme like this, a big movie friendly theme. Casual people know what this is. You don't want them going up there and just getting their ass handed to them. You want them to be able to play through and experience. And just about every game that was played, you got to go into the eclipse, the bioluminescence came through. By ball 3, you were at least in some kind of darkness. So everybody should be able to experience the lights and everything. So yeah, I hogged that machine. Most of the time when you go to these things, maybe there's one or two machines, and you're stuck in 4-player rounds and you don't get much time on. But this one, as soon as we were turned loose on the 4 machines they had set up, everybody was eating Jimmy John's. So I was like, I'm gonna go play the damn game. So I was playing solo games on Avatar, like taking my time, learning the shots, figuring out where they're at, trying to get my mind around how to start the modes, how to get into the multi-balls. So it wasn't like, you play your first person and then you go and have a beer or something, and then you come back 20 minutes later, like, where was I at? I was able to keep up my Eclipse progression. It was super cool, man. So I just soaked in time. Played a couple different machines, just to make sure there wasn't any machine-to-machine variability. So yeah, dude, had a ton of time on it. And the podcast that I did, I said that it's the better machine of this current release, right? And dude, totally it is. So because of the 18-month to 24-month cycle of games, you had that change where, like, Lawler left, they're entering a new phase, but it's going to be 2 years from then until you start seeing the fruits of that change, which now we're seeing them, right? We saw glimpses of them with Elton John. That was when Steve Ritchie came on, fixed the flippers, and now we're seeing the first ground up game since Lawler kind of lawlered on, right? Oh yeah, somebody must have been soaking X-Men in Drano, because like as soon as you plunge, it's like right down the drain. No, dude. They were messing around on the stream, clearly, because I had a lot of time on X-Men too. Both the Pro now and the LE, and game is fire, man. Both of these games are great. Which game's better doesn't matter. That's up to you. You're gonna get a good game either way if you go in on one of these two, for sure. I'm trying to find a way to get both of them now, because yeah, I wouldn't mind having an Avatar. Couple of caveats. It's got to be the CE. I don't want to go in on Avatar just with the LE. If I go in on Avatar, I want the good one. And after seeing that playfield in person, it's the one I'm going to want. So that means I got to fork over that cash. And so if I can come up with a way to do that, fine. But if not, then I'm CE or miss me. That's just me. Not saying that the LE isn't a cool machine, and it's got the same effects. The playfields are the same as far as shots and everything. There's no extra mechanism. It's just like that light, that finish looks so cool. Right. I don't think you can lose anyway you know, if you're not in a position to buy one or any of these games, you got locations. Go check it out. This game is awesome. You know, it's well worth the dollar play. Now, we've seen games sell for $15,000 and then turn into $10,000 games in a year, right? And that's why everybody's saying like, wait, if you want an Avatar, pick up a CE for 10.5. Why pay 15, right? Let some other sucker take that. CC, great point. So I took some liberties here. Now that it's 10:20, more people are coming in. I went through the market currently where we're at with the last few releases, right? To kind of see, you know, where we're going to be at. Elton John CE right now, right? That game was released about a year ago. So it's been a year that it's been out. How's it doing on the market? So the CE right now, I saw 5 of them for sale on Pinside. The cheapest one, 13.5. That's a hell of a lot better than what Godfather did after a year, where it was dropping down 11, 10, you know. Some people saw them sub 10. So Elton John, there's 5 available. I think 2 of them are just dealer postings, right? It's still available new in box for MSRP. So there was a 14,300, a 13.8, and a 13.5. So if you got your Elton CE, the laser projections, the screens, you've been playing it for 9, 10 months now, and then you go ahead and sell it, and you take a $2,500 loss. It's not the worst thing. You know, you had the game, brand new game this whole time, and the game is still good, right? Yeah. And then if you want an Elton and you waited, you're gonna have to pay 13. You know, for an extra $2,000, you could have had it this whole time. So you waited, you know you like the game, you go ahead and get it, 13.5. John Tomberlin's here, what's up, buddy? We're talking Jersey Jack, we're talking value. So Toy Story 4, Godfather, definitely if you wait and saw and you picked one up, good for you, right? Now, Elton John, a modest price decrease. I think it's holding some value is the thing. Part of that may be due to supply. I don't know how big of a seller it was. I know when I was at the JJP factory, I counted about 80 CE Elton Johns in boxes waiting by the loading dock. I don't know if those are already attributed to somebody, you know, or where those are going. You know, but the games are available. There's a lot of them. But it's holding some value, which is good. And, you know, there's games on there that are pending sale at 14. So that's not too bad, man. Now that we have hindsight, looking at Elton John, if you win it on a CE, you had the best version of the game, you honkied that cat, and now you recoup some money, and now you can roll it on into something else. I don't think that's a bad way to go. And that's because Elton John is such a good playing game. Without any adventure depth, it's just a good shooting game. Godfather wasn't as fun to hang out in. Shots were okay, but it wasn't like that combo monster. It wasn't as exciting. It wasn't as flashy. Now, Avatar is much more on that same theme as far as good playability, good shooting, fun game, fun to own, as Elton John is. So I think that trend's going to continue, and it seems to be that that's where Jersey Jack is positioning themselves now. Go for the good themes, make the best game you can, put all the assets in there, and get them. I don't think anybody doesn't like Godfather because of lack of assets. It's just we don't really connect with that theme. This theme is more fun. It's a fun adventure. The playfield is cool stuff. The shots feel good. It's just fun to play around in. The lower playfields are innovative. You know, the first one, you got the pop bumper there. The ball comes in, bounces on the pop bumper and the stand-up targets, just back and forth, all over the place. Pop, pop, pop. Sometimes it'll come to rest over on the right side of the pop bumper, and then a ball search will kind of hit it, and it'll go back into its thing. And so the whole time you're player controlling which stand-up target is lit, and you want to complete all the lights. So it's kind of fun. And if you complete all that part, then the ball will roll down where it's staged, and then you get to play on the other mini play field. Bash the crab blows up, lights flash red real quick all over everything, and then play continues. It's fun. It's fun. Let's look at Godfather. I got the Godfather numbers from Pinside from yesterday. There's 5 Elton John CEs on Pinside for sale. 2 of them are from dealers, so those are just ads. There are 11 Godfather CEs. Gosh. And the prices I'm seeing there, wait, this doesn't make sense. Oh, those are deposits. 11,000 or best offer. 13.5, 13.7, 13.9, 13.5. They're holding around the same as Elton, but a couple of people are in there like, get this game out of here. 11,000 or best offer. And we know we've seen, CEs a little bit lower than that. Just for fun, I got the LEs too. The LE numbers for Godfather. 8 of them right now, 77.50. Ooh, man. So 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. It's like $5,000 down. So LE Godfather's not having a ton of value. That's like Guns N' Roses numbers right now. Yikes. 8,600, 8,500. Some jokers got one for 11,000, 8,400. So yeah, definitely Elton is holding value a lot better than Godfather. I think everybody would argue much better shooting game, stronger flippers, it's got the sparkle, good finishes, Chris Franchi art on the platinum, and then the other one is just so sparkly, it's amazing. Don, I still have my Guns N' Roses LE and I play it regularly, have no intention to sell it, love it, everyone that visits plays it, loves it. Have I really lost anything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But we're just thinking like, it's such a stretch at these prices to get these games, it's just disheartening to see, all that go out and less than a year later, like people are selling them like for $9,000. Not so much because of the money that's lost, but just because like the enthusiasm's dead for it, At that price, it's like, it sucks, it sucks to feel that. So you think Avatar's going to drop, Mr. CC? So, with Godfather, I think the theme is probably like the greatest thing it has going for it. Shots are okay, but it doesn't have like, a really... It's kind of like a nest of diverters in the back with a cool fountain. And then like, it's got some shots on the right side that don't really flow into anything else. Where did we see another game like that? I had a hot take yesterday with a friend of mine. I said that Godfather is Jersey Jack's Halloween. I don't know, maybe a bit of a hot take. But because of how Halloween was very heavy with the scoops on the left side that just kind of went in and then went to a subway, they didn't like flow into anything else. They didn't go up there and then trickle down back into the playfield anywhere. There wasn't like a shot that got staged and then launched like we see on Elton John and like we see on Avatar. It was just kind of like, all right, I was waiting for my ball to come back up the elevator. It was very much like shoot and then wait, shoot and wait. Godfather has those spots over on the other side where like the balls kind of just get locked away there. Maybe it was kind of harsh. Godfather could be a drain monster. Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't own it and put 400 games on it. I'd probably really appreciate it if I did. The animations on Godfather, fantastic. That match screen, I love it, man. I think if I was playing as like a Corleone family member and I was exploring the Italian countryside with looping shots and fun ramps and stuff, I think that would be fun if it was more of like, let's go on an adventure, conquer this territory, make these deals. I like what they did with the code as far as like working yourself up the ranks with bribes and things. But I don't think that's transmitted to the casual player very well. I just see a bunch of shots that go up and break and come back down, and then I drain and I'm mad. I shoot into that main mechanism of the game with the gangster and the spinny thing, and I have no idea what I'm supposed to do in there. Like a gate closes, the thing spins like a salad spinner, and then it just falls back out. I never felt like I had any player control of what's going on in there. It just felt like a random thing that most of the time the ball would drain straight back down. So that was a little frustrating. I didn't like that. So I don't know. It wasn't designed with me in mind, I guess. Avatar, though, is much more of an adventure that you're going on across 2 films in a bioluminescent jungle forest planet with an eclipse that's constantly slowly coming in, slowly coming out, and building up jackpots and things. It's like a really cool like spectacle. It's a fun place to hang out in, is what it is. But yeah, at 15,000, Might as well grab another 10,000 and go get Harry Potter, right? Now I'm hearing some talk about Harry Potter when it does come out. It's gonna. They didn't raise the prices with the Avatar release. They didn't raise the prices with the Elton John release. If you think they're not raising the prices with the Harry Potter release, they get a little crazy because I think it's coming. Maybe they'll go back to the 3 model level, or maybe they'll keep this as just like, there's a $15,000 version and there's a super deluxe Hogwarts $25,000 version, and that's all we're gonna do because we want to make the best games we have, and we want to be able to recoup that licensing cost, which was probably the biggest licensing cost ever in pinball ever. But if you say to yourself, "Hey, we're a company and we want to make the best game we possibly can," that means we want to get the best theme we possibly can, and we want to get all the assets for that theme that we can, and that's going to be expensive. And they're doing like the high risk, hoping for a high reward. And if the game is good and it has all the assets, the Hermione multi-ball, I'm going to feel like a creep. They are high, but I'm hearing the price for the Harry Potter licensing was quite high, like way up there. Now, I'm sure they can make it back on volume. They've got a great factory. They can churn these things out. Everybody's going to want this thing. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. I don't have any insider info into. I didn't see the books. I don't know what the plans are or anything. They didn't allude to it, but Avatar, hell of a game, hell of a machine. Radcals, which I like. The colored on the armor I like. I wish they would do the coin door too. There's some little logistical hurdles they had with that, building at scale. It's easy for me to take 45 minutes and disassemble a coin door to go get it powder coated. It's another thing to do that for 5,000 coin doors, From 9 to 12 was absolutely nuts, yeah. No, it's not Hogwarts Legacy without the film assets. Unless they do 2 games and like the lower price one is the Hogwarts one, but if you want the full assets, you have to go high. They're not going to release it. They're not going to release a Hogwarts Legacy. It's going to have full film assets, I think. With where they're going and the product that they want to make after the impression they made on us sitting there, I don't think they would bother with it unless they had everything. I think the Toy Story 4 days are done. So, there's been a lot of shifting, it seems like, with game releases from Stern. Did you guys check out Phantom Tilt Pinball Podcast? Just put up this great hour-long interview with George Gomez, where he actually spoke candidly about licensing and even about the release dates of games. It was a lot focused on X-Men, of course, and the fact that Jack Danger's slot wasn't the slot that this game released in. His game wasn't supposed to come out until the next slot, but because of some sort of issues, and after talking to some people, it seems like he was just killing it. The team was moving really fast. They went ahead and moved his game up, and moved that other game that was in that spot back or out or in the dumpster. We heard the rumor about the Borg Indiana Jones that just got canceled for some reason, and that could be because they're like, look, we don't want to bring out another Venom. We want and they know, these companies know what each other's releasing, I'm sure. So they probably saw that Avatar was coming out fully loaded and looking good, and they were like, let's see if we can get another banger of about that level to come out at the same time. I think they did it. I think X-Men is every bit as enjoyable of a game as Avatar is. I still think Avatar's a better machine because it's got, it's just got more put into it. It already comes with a topper. It already comes with a shooter rod. It has that hydro-dipped, customized color instead of just a straight-up powder coat. All those things Stern could do. It just would cost more money, and they're looking at bringing they're preserving their margins and bringing it out at their price, and so that's where they delivered their product. Jersey Jack just had a different target on where they wanted to put theirs, so that makes Avatar a better machine because it's got more cool things in it, but doesn't mean that the games aren't equal as far as gameplay. You know, Retro Oz Gamer, as a wise man once said, you know, listening to Don is your first mistake. So I don't know. Okay, okay. Bill Brad, I hear you. We don't need another Raiders. Another Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, imagine taking the loaded playfield of Avatar with the screen of Avatar and what we're doing with toppers now from these places, and then doing Raiders based on that. And then you can have, you know, the Bally Williams Indiana Jones is still great and it can still exist on its own. But like a brand new Raiders, man, I would, oh gosh, I would be in on that. There's a used wick premium for 7. Oh, oof, roof. Okay, not from Stern. I agree. So yeah, if it was all right, fine. Like if this was like a John Borg layout, like Kiss, like Rush, only it was Raiders of the Lost Ark, and like you shot up into the temple, and like the idol would grab your ball instead of like the ring on Rush and the Time Machine. I don't think anybody would need that. But I would give like a big immersive theme like that to Jersey Jack. I would give a fun, fast, classic arcade playing style flowy game to Stern. Insider Connected, played this game 500 times, get all the achievements, tournament heavy. That would be Stern's wheelhouse. Jersey Jack would be, let's make this big themed experience. Danger needs the JJP bomb. Oh, okay. I see, Pat, what you're saying. Yeah. Look, everybody loves Indiana Jones, the pinball adventure. It's super fun. It's very much of its era. And yeah, it's one of the best. And hopefully we'll see remakes at some point. You know, I'd like to see. That'd be, yeah. Come on, could CGC bring that out as a remake with like their build quality and their kind of got really good prices too. I'd like to see those out there so I could go on location, like when I play an Attack from Mars remake that's all brand new, everything, or a Monster Bash that's all brand new. I'd love to play an Indiana Jones, the Pinball Adventure, that's all brand new. Yeah, I don't know necessarily that I would need to buy one, but if there was one to buy, I'd be interested. Pat, only that they're working on it. We asked them directly, where's the Jack Cider connected, right? The Jersey connection, whatever they're going to call it. And they said that since their games are online now, they are starting to bring that data in, you know, for feedback, for looking at, you know, yields and audits. And that's information that absolutely they need, and that's part of what's driving them to come out with this. It takes a lot of time to build that whole system of, you know, just how's everybody going to log in. You know, we need to build a server farm to handle all this data. We need to troubleshoot this thing so it doesn't launch and then go dark. You know, remember when Stern updated Insider Connected, the app, and like it crashed right away because of just everybody went in to get it. You know, so they've got to like be ready to launch something like this, and so we won't hear about it until it's like it's ready to come out. But it's coming. Will it be on the next release? I don't know. I would hazard a guess that the equipment to backwards compatibilize whatever that is in these games already. You know, maybe they'll do it through near field communication, you know, where you just kind of like you tap. That's how I use my phone to get into Disney parks. You know, it's how I pay for things. So I could see that being a way to do it. Then you just have to insert or install the near field communication reader. You don't have to worry about QR readers in the aprons. No Dial of Destiny. That would be, I agree, just awful. Yeah, yeah, they already nuked the fridge, man. We don't need to do that. So, did I get anything else? I meant to mention this yesterday, just the fact that even though prices are down, Elton John seems to be holding some pretty good value, particularly the CE. CE Guns N' Roses is still holding value. So, I think it's kind of not a bad way to go. The fact that they are actually limited. Elton John Ellie's, or their premium editions. Well, there's one for 10, one for 12, one for 12, one for pre-owned or pre-order. So yeah, not a lot of those. There's only 4 available, and 2 of them are from dealers. And yeah, so seems to be doing good. I think Elton's definitely doing better than Godfather on the resale bit of it. Someone like me who likes to have a game, play it 500 times, and then something new is out and I want to kind of move it on and get something back in. That's why I care about the resale probably more than, somebody that is like more realistic and maybe buys one game a year and then that's the game they have for the family. That would be like the sensible thing to do. Elton John feels like a pin that came back in time from 5 years in the future. In what way? It seems very much like where we're at right now. Get back, honky cat. I'd rather play an Elton John than a Wizard of Oz. I would rather play X-Men over any of the other JJP games. Better game for me, I think, right now is X-Men. Better machine is Avatar. But just like jumping in there, launching that ball. When you launch the ball in Avatar, it heads up to the left orbit, and then you can let it roll back against the flipper and get a skill shot there. You can put it up in the tree, but they say that when you plunge the ball, you're the spaceship descending into Pandora, and I don't get that connection at all. You hit the action button on X-Men, and that ball's ripping up into a ramp and then coming back at you, and it's like, let's go, buddy. Let's play some damn X-Men. But yeah, playing Avatar, playing X-Men, playing Avatar, then going back to X-Men. Yeah, like the animations are just stellar on Avatar. But you don't need stellar animations to have a good gameplay experience. But like that's the difference, What's important to you? Do you want the spectacle, the grandeur? Well then, yeah, and then you're gonna get to buy one game right now, Avatar. If you want great gameplay experience, a danger room that's super fun to play into, a sentinel that's knocking balls back at you, and something that plays better than John Wick with Insider Connected, and like with Stern, you know what you're gonna get. JD's got cool things packed all through that game that we haven't seen before, or we've seen before in little bits, and they're all like brought together here. Then yeah, X-Men's the one to get. Show of hands, anybody in on either one of these games already? Joe, you nailed it. They're very much complementary. The best thing for me this weekend was playing Avatar, going around the corner playing X-Men, going around the corner play Avatar. Like it was perfect. They do complement themselves. Avatar is a game that you play and then you walk away, you get a drink, check your email, and then like you jump back in. X-Men's a game that you get there and you play 2 or 3 times. They're just different. Yeah. Glad Hand? Is your name Gladys? Oh, John Wick LE. I checked it recently. Occasionally, one will show up for like 10.5. Mainly, they're like between 11.5 and 12 is what I see most of the time. If you want to sell it right now, 10.5 is your price. If you wanted to sit and marinate, then 11.5, 12. Which isn't terrible. It's not Jaws. But I was playing it again this morning, just having like a casual Sunday John Wick morning. And, put up some, 60 million point games. That's like play 2 modes, play 2 of the multi-balls, grab an extra ball, decent. So it's hanging in there. I still think there's a lot coming for this game. It's not like, oh crap, I bought this game, please save me with code. I think it's going to improve. But it's very much a game where you've got to kind of be on your guard a bit. It's really like a high energy battle. It's not a like reserved, let's let the eclipse come in, let's hit the ramps and the scoops, right? Tell you who is not really having a very high profile right now, and that's the third member of this super group of pinball companies, Stern and JJP. A little spooky pinball, man. The boys in Benton. They're just kind of quietly making games and getting them out. getting code updates, it seems like every week for their two games, their two new ones that are out right now. Scooby-Doo, still a fun game to play, still a very cool atmosphere. And from what I hear rumblings of, they got some themes in the pipeline. I haven't got any confirmation on what they are, and I'm not pushing the guys to tell me what they are. But what I want to know from them is kind of, is it okay to spend money now, or should I maybe kind of hold off? And so I think once we get to holiday season, that's when we'll know what Spooky's doing next. That's when we'll know what Stern did with this reported Metallica Spike 3. Are they going to be into Spike 3 yet? Are they not? I still think Stern needs to go back 2 cornerstones a year. They're competing with themselves. Yeah. I mean, I fucking would love Beetlejuice. Especially right now. The Beetlejuice movie, I haven't seen it yet. It's doing great. You know, it's like it was better grossing than Deadpool and Wolverine on opening weekend, I heard. So yeah, like the magic is there. I think the time is right. I think Deadpool and Wolverine doing really well lended itself to like this X-Men because you can do tie-ins and things. They did tie-ins with the codes with Deadpool and putting out badges that you could get. So I think if they have Beetlejuice, you know, even if they had Beetlejuice done and like their other game, like say it was Evil Dead or whatever, um, I think if they could, swapping those and getting Beetlejuice would probably make the most sense to come out now, and that's what I'm hoping on. Because look at Alice Cooper's Nightmare Castle. Have you ever seen a butter cabinet of Alice Cooper's Nightmare Castle, with just like that color that's on there, and like that kind of the color palette, and the tone, the temperature of that art as Beetlejuice? Like it's the same with Scooby Doo. I think they deliver when it looks like that kind of greenish blue with pops of yellow color palette. I have heard that they're really liking the art on their new game, and they said, you know, if you're gonna go butter, like this next one's the one to go on. And you know they've been driving Christopher Franchi around on a forklift in Benton, so I kind of think we're gonna get something cool. 51 million domestic at the box office. Damn. The weekend, and that's just domestic. Okay. I don't know how well it plays in Asia, but so yeah, is Stern eating its own foot by releasing, doing all these releases? Like, what did we get? You know, we got John Wick, we got Jaws, we got X-Men. That's their 3 for this year. And then they're talking about like another one before the end of the year. That seems kind of soon. We got the Godzilla 70th. I dig that. Spooky's their game designers. It's bugging Luke in the office, banging out machines. They kind of just have a whole just collaborative effort. It's kind of all hands on deck. You know, they get friends to come in and help with rule questions and things. They bring people under NDA. So they don't have like, all right, this guy is in the tier 1 slot release. This team's in tier 2, you know, and then like they're all on 2-year cycles or anything. You know, because they're not a company that's got like 3 releases coming out every year, you know. They pretty much do one big release and then put it out. So that's where they need to focus and bring some real experience. Right. So they're building like a catalog of products too. You know, because they're not setting up their business where they need to do that run, and then when that run's done, they can go on to their next game. Like they can put games on the line in batches based on, you know, what the need is. So I think if they do that, they build that diverse portfolio of good games with awesome code updates and killer themes with maximum assets and powder coated head to toe. You know, I think that's their point of difference. So I don't know if it was on the last time I interviewed them, but we did talk about this because people will say like, you got to hire the best designers, Spooky. Come on, and then their response was like, okay, who do you got? Who do you have that we could go and hire? We'll hire him. Who do you have? They're like Keith Owen. You think he would do a project for us? You know, they rattled off like a lot of the top pinball designers, and it's like they're all committed to other companies. You know, there's not a lot of just freelance pinball designers that do a contract with this company and then they're over to this company. We see that with artists, right? Chris Franchi does work with Spooky. He does work with JJP. He may someday do work with Stern again. If you need a T-shirt designed, hit him up and whatnot. Like he's a freelance artist, but there's not really a freelance pinball designer. You know, um, I think that may be a little niche that could open up, like a pinball design house. Um, Starting a pinball company is basically impossible, right? Because you have to nail so many different things: design, animation, marketing, parts procurement, and then you have to build, right? So you're really two companies. You're a production or design studio, and then you also have to be a manufacturing company. And kicking both of those off and have them work seamlessly and integrate, like it doesn't work, man. Haggis had this idea that like, let's design games, let's also manufacture games with the added hurdle of let's do it in Australia and try to ship around the world, and it's just went belly up. You know, what if Haggis Pinball was a design studio and they came up with these designs and then they partnered with manufacturers to get them built? Maybe I could have a production studio with myself and I could contract artists, get a vision, get the design made, and then take that to a manufacturer and sell or license my design for them to build. I don't think there's anybody that's really like that. Um, Now I don't know everyone that was in pinball, 10 years before I really got into it and put my face around. So these people might exist. But right now I don't see in the last 2 to 3 years anybody that's operating like that. But I think like having just, a good pinball designer design some games and then shop them around sounds like it'd be fun. You know, it's hard though because of how secretive, it is. You wouldn't want to have a designer like floating around a bunch of different production studios and knowing what everybody's doing. But all right, yeah. Mr. Brandis, I'll trust you. This Balser guy? Perhaps. I'm not terribly familiar with his work. I can study up on it in my multitude of free time. I want to like hold my logo right here. It's the logo. Boop. But yeah, I think cool ideas. Right now, the industry seems to be like Disney was with Imagineering 20 years ago, where their creative talent is under their umbrella and just does work for them. About 10 to 15 years ago, they changed their structure up and basically whittled down their Imagineering team to very few full-timers, and everybody became contract artists. That's when you started seeing the Universal parks, their quality really kicked up because all of a sudden all these artists are open agents, and Universal's there like, let's hire them. Come and design us a Hogwarts, design us a Harry Potter area, design us a Jurassic Park area, design us a new King Kong ride. Let's contract for an upgrade to this. Let's have you make animatronics for us. And when these people came, they had ideas from Disney that Disney passed on and never built. That's why you started seeing a lot of the medieval Dragon Towers things being built at Universal that originally were in sketches with Disney. There's always the J-pop, right? So what do? Do you come up with a design and then take it to Bedretti or the Euro Pinball Corp and be like, hey, would you guys build my game? So I've been getting tons of texts the last 48 hours or so. Don, should I cancel my X-Men and get an Avatar? Do you think I should get both? Is X-Men really a drain monster? X-Men's a safe bet. Even the Pro is a completely safe bet. Promise. You'll find out when you play this thing. Avatar is a safe bet as well, in all likelihood. If you need to cancel anything, hey, cancel ABBA. I mean, come on. I know people that have ordered it, like they love the band, but it's not going to have this fun world right here. You know, you may think Avatar's not the best theme for you, and I get that, but we don't get to buy the themes that we. I mean, we can buy whatever we want, but you know, buy it, don't buy it. But you have to look at what's available, unless you're going to build it yourself, right? And so, looking at the landscape right now, between ABBA, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Avatar, X-Men, John Wick, it's a lot of variety, man. This is my Marco shirt, man. They sent it to me. I mean, I bought a game from them too, but oh, we got Orbital Albert here. Orby, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the fold. Now, see, I think that Blues Brothers game is going to hold exactly all of the value it has, which is none. If X-Men didn't have like 4 mechs in it better than anything I saw in Avatar, Avatar doesn't have a ton of what we consider traditional mechanisms. Now, it's got what feels like a 40-pound lower playfield. I held the thing in my hands, cradled it like a newborn baby, you know. So, I mean, that's the biggest mechanism in the entire game is that lower playfield with the crab robot. Bop, 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 bop. So that's huge. It's like building a mini pinball machine all by itself. It's self-contained. Like it's huge, man. You know, so don't dismiss that just because it's under the playfield. My credit card canceled my Fathom. It's got that other playfield with the pop bumper and such, so that in is itself a mechanism. It's got the scramp. Okay, so that's a scoop that turns into a ramp. That's not, you know, that's not huge. The little Kung Fu Grip action figure. But the biggest thing that I don't want to lose sight of in that game, which is a play mechanism, is the eclipse, the day-night light cycle that comes in. Because it required them to put additional thought and effort and money into the art on the playfield, under the clear coat, into the art blades, into the back plate of the game, into the back glass. And as you're playing, it's a gameplay mechanism too. It's absolutely fun to shoot. Scramp is absolutely fun. But like when it's getting dark, you're like, it's happening, the eclipse is happening. And then everything is glowing, the flippers are glowing, you're like in a different world, you know. So it's a gameplay element. You know, it's not a mechanical linkage, but there's a lot of money that was put into putting UV into the RGB LEDs in the inserts, into using the paint on the inserts that only show up when you're in Eclipse, into putting the jump ramp to the spinner, you know, and into the design of the game. The extra flooded spotlights, the ones in the apron, like they're everywhere, man. It's not just a strip of UV lights that comes on like Stranger Things. I mean, this is like, it's like organic everywhere, you know. So I would consider that an honorary mechanism as well. Does light cycle interact with the ball? No, so that's what I mean. It's not a traditional mechanism, but it's a gameplay mechanic. It's a gameplay mechanic. Does the Avatar topper relay the same info as the back box? Yeah, so, you know, for practical purposes, you're not going to be looking at that topper while you're playing a game. No way. Maybe if you trap up and the screen is playing a scene from the movie, you can look up there and see, okay, I've got, you know, this many Pandora letters or my Eclipse. The main thing I was looking at as I was playing is how far am I in my Eclipse? Am I in total yet? Should I be shooting for that ramp or should I be trying to build things up? So it will show the Eclipse progress up there. Now, as far as like, you're in the game room, you're playing with your friends, you know, Billy's playing, and you can just sit back and kind of take it all in, it's freaking amazing, you know? It's playing data and stuff in the back, it's super cool. But as far as like in the game, looking up there, you're probably not gonna be doing it very much. I was draining balls just looking around the playfield at all the cool stuff that's there. I'm debating with a fellow pinball nerd this week, what is better, Avatar or X-Men? I am Team X-Men all the way. So, Orby, you got to see what question you're asking. Are you asking between these two games, because we're going to be comparing them, that's fine, it's fun to do. Are you asking which is a better game or which is a better machine? Because I think those are two different questions with two different answers. And what I came down to is Avatar's a better machine just because of everything that's in it that doesn't come standard with a Stern. As far as better game, that's subjective. I think X-Men's a better game. I do. Just the amount of just fun stuff that is everywhere in there, and as the coolness of the danger room, the fact that they put the flippers over a little bit on the side, and I didn't even really notice when I'm playing. Took right to it. It's just cool, man. And it's X-Men, and there's like a time travel component in there. I'm trying to compare it to like two different things. It's like playing a sports game on a Sega Genesis and a role-playing game on a Super Nintendo, right? How do you compare those? Which game is the better game? Well, it depends on what mood you're in, right? The role-playing games on the Sega Genesis weren't as great and deep as the ones on the Super Nintendo as far as like the grandeur, But sometimes you just want to play Vector Man, You just want to play Sonic. You just want to sit down and play a game for a while and have fun things go off, and just one thing flows into the next, Echo the Dolphin is not a game that you want to sit down and put 40 hours into, but it was fun to swim the dolphin around, Donkey Kong Country was like, okay, let's play this now, right? Not everything has to be a huge epic to be a successful thing, and there's room for both, and that's how I feel about it. But let's continue to argue over which one is better forever, because that's super fun to do, man. And then, if your team, JJP, you got this game ordered and you want to talk crap about X-Men, that's fun to do. It's just, we all like doing it, right? But objectively, both games are great. So I mentioned to Jack, people have the feedback I've been getting, he says he went on to Pinside like a little bit, but hasn't really been following like the music complaints or the Drain Monster complaints. And I'm like, okay, it looks like you guys were having a ton of fun and just not really playing seriously. And so people saw your balls drain and they were like, my God, I'm an average player. If these guys are draining, this game's going to be brutal. And I can tell you it's not the case, because I played against Wason and some of the other guys from Stern when I was there. And a couple of the rounds, my score was the highest. And I'm an average player. I've never won a competition. I just did Jay's Pinball Silverarium down in Iowa, and I got kicked out of like the 4th round or something. Fine. So that's the kind of player I am. And even then, these guys designed the game. This is like my second time ever seeing it and playing it, and I'll manage to do pretty well just with my rudimentary flipper skills that I have. My drop catches, my bounce passes, and playing in the danger room. You can stay in the danger room for quite a while. The last time I played the game, I think I was on the Pro. I trapped up in the danger room. Easy to do. The ball doesn't roll off the flipper. I trapped up, and I was able to send the, kind of drop for just a second, hit the flipper up, go right through the spinner, right back to the flipper. It would, bounce in the little channel and then come to rest on the flipper. And then I threw it through the spinner 3 times in a row. Then I dropped for a little bit, let it roll on down, hit it up, and got out the ramp to Cerebro. It was cool, man. I think most of the time when I lose balls, they go out the out lanes when I get the side-to-side action. The fact that X-Men doesn't have a left out lane, when the ball goes in that left out lane, it drops to the flipper. You're in the danger room. So it's not like Wizard of Oz when you do get the left out lane. It's like, crap, there's a small chance I could save this. Or on Foo Fighters, like there's a chance I could save this if I hold the left flipper down and I've activated the save. This is like every time you go in there, more likely than not, you're going to land on the flipper if you catch it. And then you can get right back out there. So it's super fun. It's super fun. Joe Cheravino, I thought the music in X-Men was fantastic, especially 80s area music. So when I heard the music in the live stream, I was like, what the hell are we listening to? I was expecting to hit the button and hear, Infinity Quest or hear Venom, just like da 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 or something, right? And we heard that 80s pop synth, and we're like, are we playing this in an elevator? What's going on, guys? And they did not do a good job explaining this in the stream. But this game takes place in the past, where there's only a couple of modes available at the start. You have to play through some stuff, get to the future, and then there's more stuff available. When you start you're in the 80s is when this thing takes place. And so it's like 80s synth pop kind of new wave music. Still, I don't know if I was building this game, that would have been my choice. But that once they explain that, and then the fact that when you go to the future, the music changes to be something more that we would expect. And then when you do bounce back to the past, the tempo has then increased. It makes sense, but it wasn't conveyed well in the live stream. The live stream was them goofing off, obviously. I asked Jack, I'm like, what was going on in your pants during that? And I think he said that the suit was a little bit ill-fitting and he needed a belt, didn't have one. So he took a t-shirt and he jammed it down there just so his pants would stay up. And he says that he was assured that when he was on camera, you could only see him from chest up, which wasn't the case, which made it hilarious. Other music was fantastic. Don't be so modest, buddy. Well, yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. I'll get there. Now, Orby, you know there's a Donkey Kong Country area opening up at Universal's new theme park next year with a barrel mine train roller coaster where the train will jump the tracks and go through barrels on a minecart chase through a banana monkey temple. And there's meet and greets with Crazy Kong or whatever. So, man, everybody does this. New game releases, we judge the crap out of all of it. When that image leaked of the Avatar playfield initially, that looked like a Lisa Frank drawing, I was all over that, like, what is this bull crap, right? And then when you see the playfield, that's easily like the least interesting part of it, and they just happen to take that and leak it. Not what I would have chosen to leak. I would have brought out some fire, but that's what they did. Puppy dogs are down here. I think Brady needs to push Stern hard on a game. Push him hard on, like, making a hard game or what? Or, like, he should be a designer. Oh, man. I mean, Mr. Orbital, sir, I think that is apt. Oh, right. I don't know. It looks like a comic book. This was something cool that Jack took me through with the foiling that's done on the art blades. He said with Foo Fighters, he had the foil just on the whole graphic. With this time, he did foils on mainly the backgrounds, and then the characters themselves are hand drawn, so they all seem to pop a little bit better. I don't think the art, to me, looks busy. I like it. I think it works when you see it. You need to see it from the player's perspective because that's how it's designed to be viewed. I dig it. I wasn't having problem finding any of the shots, but it is very much a comic book looking layout. But hey, I don't think it's too busy playing it. It wasn't distracting, and the inserts tell you kind of where to go. And the layout up there's so many diverters and things, and the ball does so many twisting paths that, that is more like, if you want to shoot at this ramp, it's going to take you a little bit to figure out which entry goes up there, more so than the art being busy or confusing. The backglass is awesome. John Wick is still the greatest backglass I've seen, but the LE backglass with the mirroring looks really good on the LE. They left a lot of open area for that mirror effect so you can really see it. It's not just thin outlines. And basically Colossus's entire body is mirror, which is awesome. Oh, is there a new, do you even talk pinball? I gotta listen to the bro show. I gotta listen to the bro show. I can't do that guy's voice. I got it in my head, but he's got more baritone than I do, I think. Yeah, I would say get a look at the playfield in person, and then you can judge it. Because to me, it seemed just fine. I liked how the background art really matched the inserts. They didn't feel jarring. I like this much better than Avengers Infinity Quest, where I think the insert and the art is a little more chaotic. Joe Cherovino, good question. I have no idea about the play mechanics of that game. Um, I didn't get to hang out there for hours and figure that part of it out. Wason, I think, told me, and then it just went in one ear and out the other. I need to play a game for a while before somebody explains the rules to me, so then I have some context to hang everything on, so it makes sense. Um, but I don't know. You build something up, and then you can jump to it. And there's a mechanic in there where you can decide to jump back and forth. If you go from the past to the future and then back to the past, then like the bonuses you have are higher. So score wise, it's better to kind of like go back and forth between the time periods. And there is a cool little light effect that does change. The future is a lot darker. The past is more light because in the future, the destruction has happened. And so the general illumination is more blue and reds versus the whites during the different time periods. And they light up the art blades pretty well too. Is Pokemon coming soon? I don't know. I don't expect it until next year. I think the soonest you would see it would be that first cornerstone of 25. But realistically, it'll probably be a fall release next year. If they positioned X-Men and Avatar against each other, and they know Harry Potter's coming, Pokemon would be what I would drop opposite it, if anything. Because if you did anything less, it would just get eaten. So part of the FOMO isn't just like I'm not going to be able to get a game. Anybody will be able to get a game now, although there's 20% less with X-Men. But the FOMO is the fear of missing out on playing the game early. So if you new in box, if you are going ahead and paying probably the most this game will ever cost, you should at least get the game first and be able to play it and like have the new toy on the block. That's part of it. Once 6 months to a year has passed, then the price should be down lower because that's not really a driving thing anymore. Absolutely, the ball pass on X-Men, the things that the ball does in there, and the way it interacts with the play field is much better and much more fun. Avatar doesn't really have much on the lower 2/3 of the play field. I kind of said this with Jack when I was there. Usually on a pinball machine, take John Wick, take Venom, the first third of the playfield, the Italian bottom, there's nothing there. It's pretty straightforward. Occasionally you see, somebody puts a stand-up target somewhere, but really that's what it is. The middle third is usually medium sparse. Think Stranger Things. Okay, there's a saucer over on the side, but most everything is in that back third. With X-Men, the back third is full of stuff to do. The middle third has cool stuff in it as well. You got a Sentinel hand on the right side. You've got the Kitty Pryde shot on the left with like some ball paths in there. And then the lower third, which is usually the place with the least innovation, has some of the most. So each third of this machine has cool, fun stuff to do with balls traversing the same area at 3 different altitudes. You got crisscrossing ramps with multi-levels. You've got a stand-up target down here with a Newton ball way up here with ramps, all throughout the different areas. Avatar has a great back third, and its middle third is essentially occupied by stuff in the lower playfields. The bottom, there's not really much there. There is a ramp mechanism on the left. They do have something similar to Elton John, the rocket ramp, where the ball goes in and the kicker sends it. That's on the left out lane. Most times the ball goes in there, it'll get caught and then shot up. There's an insert that qualifies a specific mode. The left-handed mode is on the left out lane, so you have to shoot the left out lane to qualify that. But then the kicker will save your ball and send it back into play, and it feeds it straight up to the upper left flipper. I think if you were going to put anything up against Harry Potter, Pokemon would be the one. Because believe it or not, there are people that don't like the boy wizard that do play Pokemon Go. And if Pokemon is $12,999 for that LE, that Charizard LE that you have to have, and Harry Potter's $25,000, that's how you compete. Who's doing Pokemon though? If it's coming next year, it can't be Jack. He's still working getting this game going. That wouldn't give him enough time. Did Elwin do Pokemon? Oh my god. It is I think he did say he was doing a monster game, and that's technically Pokemon means pocket monsters. So the flippers, 6 flippers, it's 2 lower, 2 upper, is what it is. There are 2 flippers in a lower playfield. They're only active when that playfield's active. So yeah, there's 6 for marketing purposes, but for practical play purposes, it's a 4 flipper game, which is fun. The right upper flipper is full size. The left upper flipper is a mini flipper. Both have repeatable shots, and it's fun. It's got to be Owen. So then we're gonna be like a ways out then. Lower play fields are fun. They give you a nice little break. The pop bumper play field is timed. It doesn't play very too long at all. And if you don't play that, if you don't hit enough targets while you're in there, the ball just comes out of the scoop and you're back into normal play. If you qualify it, then it does go to the other lower play field, which is a timed event. And if you complete it in that time allotted, then you're awarded and your ball comes out. So I don't think it felt like it played too long. And it was fun because that lower play field with the crab and the flippers, it's not just like, okay, just flip randomly and try to hit stuff, like your monsters and just like, come on, I'm running out of time. Like you could trap up down there and hit things. The play field down there is tilted in a different direction than the main play field. So the ball like floats around differently than you would expect. But you can catch and trap up, hit the crab, catch, trap up, hit the orbit, so there's some time down there to play. I thought it was fun. I wonder if it was the Dungeons and Dragons theme that maybe needed more time, because that's the one I heard is coming next. Unless that could be Pokemon for all I know. I have no idea. Um, but yeah, I'm thinking it sounds like maybe that one needed a little bit more time to stew, and Jack was doing so great timing wise, so they went ahead and moved him up, and then bumped the other one. Does the Avatar camera do anything special again, like glasses on Elton John or want a poster on Godfather? Not that I saw. Again, that part of code may be coming, but no, nothing particular other than what we've seen. Just take your picture at the end. But it'd be cool if it would, throw a little Snapchat filter over you as a Navi, right? So yeah, man, what a crazy couple of weeks of pinball, man. We got 2 releases, got more media days. It sounds like these media day things, and this is what I was hoping. I was hoping that they could become, more of like this relationship building where we know each other, to the point that like if I'm in town and something new's coming out, we can reach out to each other and like get people in there. Because if I get invited and I get comfortable there, then I could say like, hey, I got a couple friends that would love to come too. Is it cool to bring them? And then we could turn these into kind of fan events. Stern Pinball right now has a lot of construction going on, redoing the whole front entry area. They have a giant pinball sculpture that is being built right now. They're going to have a play area in the front, so public can come by and visit the factory, play some of the games, meet some of the people. Maybe there's a pop-up retail shop, and I think that's awesome. So if you're coming through and visiting Chicago, you could stop by the factories. Jersey Jack is right around the corner. Maybe they could implement something similar. Do guided tours. At 10 a.m. on Wednesdays or something, you can book a guided tour. I think that'd be fun. So the more we do these things and the more like everybody behaves themselves, the more likely it is to keep happening. But Orby, by plus oneing, okay? Look, there's going to be new games coming out, and I'm on like a media list now, and I've got people's phone numbers that I can text, and I can hit people up and get stuff set up. All right. Now I don't know if the fact that you're international and they because right now they're paying people's plane tickets. So I don't know if that was part of it too, you know. But I think just there's something to be said about showing up, you know. Even though you weren't on the invited media list, give some time, let some relationship building happen. But, if you were to just say like, hey, I'm in the area, I wouldn't mind, can I come by and just take a peek at the line, see what's going on there? I think that's how you do it. So just slowly build the relationships. I think Expo is a great way to do that. I've gone to almost every pinball convention this year, and seeing the same faces, like that's how stuff happens. Ken Cromwell remembers me from being at IAPA, which is not a pinball event. IAPA is a big themed entertainment expo. They're there selling games to Dave and Buster's, Chuck E. Cheese's, water parks, right? So like to be able to have someone there that like knows pinball and stuff, knows who they are, and can chat a little bit, and not feel like you're just always fangirling because it's not a pinball fan event, it's a business entertainment expo event. I think that helped. I just keep kind of showing my face around. Dance Scooter Higgy. Higgy. Is this Jengiz? Scooter, how you doing? Talk. I very much appreciate it. Uh-oh, he's out. Pokemon lead designer Shigeru Miyamoto, Shiggy, to his friends. And Orby, smaller creator. You got like 500 and something damn episodes, dude. Like, I'm at a paltry 148. Ken was my producer for my show, Top 3 with Orby on TV and CNC. Oh, good. Oh, good. Ryan Davies, we were just talking about your new park, man. We're hype on Donkey Kong Country. When can we go? That's the invite I want. Let me get a Don's Pinball Podcast Media Day adventure to Epic Universe. Let's hook it up. We'll invite people from the Patreon, from the groups, the clubs we have. We'll all come down there. We'll call ourselves media, and we'll cover it, man. We'll cover this thing. Jengiz, there he is. You say his name 3 times, he comes in here. What's up, buddy, man? I'm ready to record some WAP, dude. Let's go. I want to talk some Jack Danger game. I want to talk some Avatar game. I want to talk BS. Oh, it's got to be soon. Man, the end of the year is freaking fire. X-Men's coming soon. I'm going to go and pick it up, hopefully in a week and a half. Avatars are leaving right now. I'm going to be on location. Expo is like, it's going to be upon us here soon. We're 4 weeks from Expo. We're 4 weeks from Expo. Maybe we're going to see a Spike 3 machine with a metallic with a giant screen and live footage. Hell yes. Shout out to Jason from the Pinball Party podcast. The voice of reason. These games are too expensive. What the hell? But he's hype on Metallica probably as much as I am. Maybe more so. Ugh. I want an Avatar. But I told Jeff at Mad Pinball, I was like, pencil me in on Avatar CE. It gives me till November, because if the fire is coming from Metallica, I may just move from the Navi over to the pit, man. Oh yeah, man, hit that like button, please. I don't know how all that stuff works. I would love to get a play button someday. That'd be awesome. And IAPA's coming. Brother, we're going. I got asked at Jersey Jack, you going to IAPA again? It's like, of course I'm going to IAPA again. Dude, everybody, get down to Florida. Let's go hang out at IAPA. It's nuts. You can drink alcohol. You can play with water slides. And there's pinball machines. And because it's not a pinball fan event, there's no lines for the games. The people that are there are like corporate people that are purchasing agents. They play for a little bit, they drain, they're done. You can get in there, you can play Avatar for like 6 hours nonstop if you want. With like Jack himself standing right there pointing out all the cool different stuff that's on it. Oh, we got to hit up Retro Ralph, make sure he can join us here. We need more on the West Coast. More events. The Retro Ralph's awesome. I gotta go watch his. He just did an episode. Everybody's doing episodes right now. So your West Coast events are gonna be in Las Vegas. There's a West Coast IAPA that happens. You know what I want to do? You got San Diego Comic Con, dude. You don't have room to talk. You ain't got no events. San Diego Comic Con, brother. I need to hit that up. Maybe pencil me in next year. San Diego Comic-Con, maybe the West Coast IAPA, but I want to go to the licensing expo that happens in Vegas. This is where the companies go, and this is where they meet with people. They're like, we license Hello Kitty, please give us money and use our characters. Like, I want to go to that and walk around and see like what that's like. Too tough to get into Comic-Con? Dude, we need to roll up on Comic-Con. I think that'd be fun. Vegas is fire, man. I was just there, and for the first time in a long time, I had a great time in Las Vegas. It's improved so much from 10 years ago. You know, Vegas was fun for a bit, and then it just turned into casinos and cigarette smoke, and I'm like, this place, they charge for parking now, get me out of here. Now, a lot more has been built there. The new Cosmopolitan is there. Resorts World has a huge place. The Sphere is there. Meow Wolf. Like, there's a lot more cool attractions to do again. So, Golden State, is that the one out in Lodi? It's like a big ask to get me to go to Lodi, California. Halicon in Halifax? Oh my God. Send me the dates, brother. I got to pencil it in. We're booking 2025 events right now. And it looks like if things work out, we may start with Australia, which would be... All right. I mean, Golden State looks like a fun event. But me and Lodi have a history, man. I can't show my face around there. Does Deja Vu still exist out there? Right. Ryan gets it. So, Ryan, there's a Quonset hut out in Lodi at some fairgrounds that gets loaded with pinball machines. People bring their RVs out there. Everybody camps. And when the event closes, people go in the campground and they play pinball all night. They bring generators. It's like a crazy party. And it's in Lodi, man. Come on. If there's an armpit of California, Bakersfield is the center of the armpit. I'm giving Lodi crap. I haven't been there in 20 years. It's by Deja Vu. Oh, all right. Oh, man. Yes, I saw pinball at the beach. I don't know if I can carve out time in February to get down there. You know, like if I could go to everywhere, I would. All right, listen to me. Listen to me. Chris. It's Don talking. Okay. Between Yosemite and Lake Tahoe can mean a lot of things, right? It can mean that, you know, you're up in the Sierra Sequoia National Park, right? Kings Canyon, right? Three Rivers, right? Or it can mean you're in Visalia, right? So there's two different things there, all right? Your knowledge of the Central California area has not made it possible for you to make a turn on that condo in Fresno. Yeah, you know what else is between Yosemite and Lake Tahoe? Fresno, okay? Fresno. I'm from California, dude. The funniest thing for me was when I moved out to California and I saw everybody wearing Hollister stuff, and it's like, have you been to Hollister? Because it says like Hollister Surf Company, and Hollister, California is about as far from the beach as you can get. It's like in the middle of a garlic farm. It's like Gilroy is closer to the ocean than Hollister is. Hollister is not a surf brand. Hollister is a hot, sweaty, agricultural, gross place. Fresneck. You just drove from Wisconsin to Arizona. This is true. By way of Yellowstone. Oh man, I kid. I'm sure Lodi's better now, but I can think of a lot better places in the country to buy a $600,000 home. Let's just talk trash about this. Let's go to Angel's Camp. Rough and Ready. How about California Pines north of Redding, the place that Eric Estrada was selling? Oh, people are gonna get bored now. I'm out of content for this live stream. Let's just bag on California towns now. It's the same. To everybody else, people think, like, they hear from you from California, they're like, do you know celebrities? And it's like, do you know how much of California looks like Kentucky? Or looks like a dry-ass desert? The next pinball machine, P-Dub, thank you. Also, Doug the Costco video brother. That was cool. Watched it last night. X-Men Limited Edition. I'm hoping this week, but it's probably going to be the week after. So X-Men LE will be the next one. And then I did order an X-Men Premium that I'm remaking over for a Don Coast Customs customer. He's ordered a custom build. We're going to make it happen. It's going to be awesome. See, Chris, that's what I'm saying, man. Once you head east and get into the mountains, it starts to get pretty awesome. But in those low-lying valleys along the 99, come on, brother. Did everybody just forget about Alice in Wonderland? Not as fast as we forgot about ABBA, but yeah, where's Alice in Wonderland? Stumbler's doing official sculpts and mechanisms for the game, or lighting stuff or whatever. His mods are coming pre-packed in there. Lior's mods are coming pre-packed in there. There's only 500 of these things, and my FOMO is no mo because I'm getting an X-Men, and I might end up with an Avatar. And both of those things are standing in my way of ever having an Alice in Wonderland. Alice's price is supposed to be going to be good. It'll have to be, man. Because, yeah, it can be a cool pinball machine. It's one of my friends. Get one, invite me over. It'll be fun. I'm showing too much of my cleavage. But, you know, I don't even have the room for the stuff I have now. And I got more stuff coming. So somebody buy my games, please. I played the Costco Jurassic Park. It's super fun. Those of us that know where you can get them cheaper than the Costco price. But for the general public, it's an easy way to walk in, walk out with a machine, get your Costco points, and have something super fun at home. Donnie, did you buy Avatar? I said, Mad Pinball, pencil me in for a CE. If I get an Avatar, it's going to be the CE after seeing that playfield. So I'm either going to get this or miss this. That's where I'm at. But here's the thing. If 2 of my games sell and I'm sitting on Avatar money and I freed up 2 spaces for 1, then it's kind of like Avatar was free. Huh? And I think its resale will be cool. It'll be a fun game to have for 6 to 9 months, I think. That's where I'm at thinking. I don't bolt really anything except for, I don't know, my spooky games and my my Star Wars, my Stranger Things. They're probably bolted, but everything else, let's go. None of my family lives in Northern California anymore. They're all moving out here. DPX, PX, 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 PX. Girl math. If I just exercise this morning a little bit, I can go to the buffet this evening. Girl math. But yeah, once Lebowski sells and my Tales from the Crypt sells, I'm there, man. It's Avatar time. And then we'll roll Avatar again when Harry Potter comes out, and then I'll only have to come up with 10 grand. So I'll sell Avatar plus 1 other game, consolidate into Harry Potter, and we'll slowly work down to a more concentrated collection of bomb games. So I get out of California in, Ryan, when did I leave? 2007, 2008? Not because I didn't like California. It was too expensive, and I wasn't working for Google or Pixar or Yahoo. They exist anymore. You know, I wasn't starting a tech startup. I probably should have, because I'd have like $16 billion and be a vice presidential candidate. But instead, I took my sensible job that I had and I kicked it out back east, and we've been partying ever since. I started buying houses. I was able to go to school, still travel the world, go to Dollywood, develop my Appalachian accent. Yeah, Tales from the Crypt is being sold, I think, at Expo. P-Dub, with a color DMD and Retro Django's sound addition to it, 4K. Hell of a price. I've been working on Ryan for years to leave California. He finally did it, and except for the miserable stink weather you just went through. Huh? Huh? I'm jelly. I want to go to Florida next. Florida needs a little bit more work to be habitable, but I think we're going to get there. I think we're going to get there. I'm heading to the beach with son Owen and her girlfriend, so I get a shout out from them, buddy. Dude, Owen, what's up, buddy? Orby Jr., how you doing, guy? What's his girlfriend's name? I'm gonna say Gemma or Rachel. Tales from the Crypt is great, man. I'm working on her. Let's keep working on her. We'll convince her. We'll get her down there. Looking around the room, I got a Big Lebowski I could sell. My Black Knight Sword of Rage, probably. My John Wick, if you twist my arm. My Gottlieb Wipeout, I want to hang on to. My Spooky Games, get out of here. I'm keeping my WrestleMania. Elvira Blood Red Kiss, I guess. You know, I've had Elvira's for a while now. I think if I got an offer, I might consider that. It looks amazing. Everywhere's getting overpopulated. Monica, they want us to move to Florida. Tales from the Crypt is a great game, sir. Alameda. Oh man, I'm having Bay Area flashbacks. All right, Ryan Davies. I got my homebrew I want to make. You Californians. We got to make California's Gold / Bay Area backroads, right? What do you say? We could put like little Sonoma places to go, little places in Napa. We could even add something. I'm sure something fun in Fremont, right? We could have an Oakland area, like that's the left out lane that you just get beat to crap and then drain. That'll be Oakland. Oh, Vallejo, we gotta have the Valley Joe. Popobsy constant tantrums. E40, yeah. All right, the whole thing's loaded with E40 music. We got Huell Hauser callouts, California's Gold, Bay Area Backroads, Mac and Muttley. Let's do this and make it a love letter to the yay. We'll call it Hyphy Time Pinball Adventure. The Upper Playfield's Marin. and there's no way to get access up there. Keep my hood clean. Oh, I remember that sign with E40. Keep my hood clean. We should have ganked that banner. Can you imagine? We should have pulled that plexiglass off and stole that poster. That would have been worth the charge. Later, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Cengiz. Dude, E40 for life, brother. That would be a funny-ass game. So Marin would be the upper playfield that has a gate. You completely cannot get up there. You cannot transit through there unless you put in $5 into the game, and then they'll let you up there, but only to go to Whole Foods. And then you're right back out again. California Roadshow. Oh man, was this a fun live stream on YouTube? I think YouTube's kind of a cool way to do it because I can do it with like this software camera setup. We can put funny things in like logos. I can hide my Diet Coke right here so you can't see what I'm drinking. Mr. Fab. I'm gonna make Ryan a pinball guy, man. Allieds could be the A's and Raiders. Oh my goodness. And you could take Bart to like shuttle around underneath the playfield. Well, thanks, man. Let's try to do one of these every week. I have a not safe for public E40 story. Chris, PM me or something. I want to hear it. I love me some 40 water, man. Revenue retrieving, graveyard shift. That was my jam, sir. Oh, I don't have my mixer on. I got some E40 music here that me and Cengiz were playing with. Yup. All right, cool. We'll wrap up the stream. Let's come back and do this again next week. I'm digging this format, man. We'll have a lot more creativity than just Facebook Live. And then we'll keep this up. Maybe this will drive subscribers. I really just want to get a YouTube play button. But I've got to do that thing where like you beg people to subscribe. It really helps the channel. Share this page around, which sucks. But when you do that, like people do it, and then you can get there. I just want to get just one of the play buttons to stick on my wall. Let's be like super baller, you know. So maybe we'll do the live streams here, because this will be like long watched content, and that's kind of how you get rewarded in YouTube. I don't know. I'm still a novice at this, just playing around, but it would be fun if, as a community, we could all put in and like get a play button, and I would like dedicate it to everybody. Expo's coming up in 4 weeks. I'm gonna do a live stream unboxing of my X-Men. I don't know what point avatar. My X-Men LE. Ah, that was a purchase. Stern must have known that like my yearly bonus was coming because it came and it went. We got ourselves a game. That'll be fun. All right, guys, be cool. There's a like button somewhere up there. Hit subscribe. I think that's what we need. You know, let's fudge the algorithm and get this thing going. At least I'm not getting a copyright strike on this, right? All right, we'll do that thing where I hit stop and then say, yes, you want to stop? Yes, I do. Be cool, everybody. Email me, donspinballpodcast@gmail.com. Patreon, $5. I got a whole thing with Scott with the loser kid on there talking about the ins and the outs of X-Men LE right as soon as we finished playing it. It was great. All right, be cool, and you give yourself permission to have some fun in your life, huh?